plural bodies. Definition 9, CJS. Inarguably odious term used by New York City Department of Correction and other court personnel to denote incarcerated criminal defendants. There are 300 bodies in the system, so we should be busy. He's bringing the next batch of bodies down now. I'll let you know if your guy's one of them. And this was before anything even remotely insane had happened, when I still occasionally thought about things like how it was that people were reduced to bodies, meaning the process, how you needed cops to do it, and how their master, the system, needed to be constantly fed former people in order to properly function, so that in a year typical to the city where the following took place, about 500,000 bodies were forcibly conscripted. And if you learn only one thing from the ensuing, maybe let it be this. The police were not merely interested observers who occasionally witnessed criminality and were then basically compelled to make an arrest. Rather, the police had the special ability to, in effect, create crime by making an arrest almost whenever they wished, so widespread was wrongdoing. Consequently, the decision on who would become a body was often affected by overlooked factors, like the candidate's degree of humility, the neighborhood it lived in, and, most often, the relevant officer's need for overtime. None of which tells you the exact process by which someone, let's say you, becomes a body, which account I sort of impliedly semi-promised. So, imagine you are on the street, then, in an incident, then a stranger's hand is on your melon, making sure it doesn't bang the half-blue, half-white, American-only car with a colorful bar across the top. Imagine that. Easy if you try. Now, the police have 24 hours to get you in front of a judge for your criminal court arraignment, but if you're the perceptive sort, you will monitor time's ceaseless consumption of this period, yet rightly detect no corresponding increase in ambient urgency. Your first stop is the appropriate precinct, where the arresting officer, or AO, stands you before another cop, known as the desk sergeant. He tells him the tale of your alleged sin, and the two, speaker and audience, join their heads to decide what section or sections of the New York penal law to charge you with. Now you've been informally charged, and with that out of the way, you may be asked to remove all your clothes, the propriety of this being debated at the time, and kindly spread open your ass. This strip search is one of several ways that additional charges can still arise. So, while you may have been arrested for a triviality like displaying an open bottle of Heineken to the public, a prosecution normally conducted in a decidedly minor key and resolved right at arraignments, your glove-clad searcher may now discover what you most sought to conceal, that you are currently holding one of the area's surfeit of readily available yet technically illicit anesthetics in amounts ranging anywhere from the ghostly residue of celebrations past to multiple powder bricks, and in locations as presumably inviolable as within your underwear or even up your ass. Or maybe you possess one of the other less popular forms of the all-inclusive law enforcement term contraband. In that way, can minor breaches be converted into major faults, and this happens often, not occasionally. The police know this and are therefore unlikely to ignore even nonsense like the above consumption of alcohol in a public place, Administrative Code Section 10-125. People like you know this as well, yet permit it to alter their conduct not in the slightest, ensuring in the process that the number of bodies will always remain fairly constant. Another way you have to be careful not to pick up more charges is by resisting capture, even if only verbally, because such conduct can incite some of your lesser blue pacifists into a bit of retributory violence, with said violence then necessitating that you be charged with resisting arrest, Penal Law Section 205-30, if only by way of explaining your injuries, which injuries better be